guys? It's your boy Kenny
Yes,
XD,
sir.
and we are
Yes,
back,
sir.
man. But this time we are back with the Walten Files. But this time we are with a full explanation with my boy DJ Boss 5611, or as y'all know him, Dalton, man. So we're gonna
Yes,
be watching
sir.
this and getting a clear explanation on the things that we're unsure about. So yeah. Hopefully it's a
Yes,
in depth
sir.
and detailed one because this motherfucker is 1 hour. So hopefully it's not 1 hour of bullshit. Yeah. So with that being said, yeah, let's jump into it. Now, luckily for
Yeah.
us, we don't have to do nothing but sit back and watch because my boy Dog Tone, he's taking over for us. So yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Is I put the shit in full screen? Is it full screen for you,
Um.
or do you have the full screen of
Let
yourself?
me see. Shit. I don't know. Okay. Go ahead. Let me see.
Waving the mouse around
Okay.
and shit.
Yeah, it's full screen for us. How do I?
Okay.
How do I fucking? Is there any way I can get rid of this little stuff at the bottom? No,
What
no.
the what is it?
Our cameras and stuff.
The what you mean like the
Like that
oh
shows.
no, I don't, oh yeah, you just click the hide option, like the arrow pointing down. You just click that if that's what you're talking about.
Hide option. I can't. I don't know what that's at.
Okay. Are you talking about this right here? The taskbar? Or are you talking about something else?
No, I'm talking about I'm talking about like our faces and stuff. Like, I'm on Discord, so I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Uh, there should be an option like right in where you see all those icons and stuff. There should be just a like arrow or whatever somewhere, and you just click that, and then it'll like push it downwards.
Oh, okay. There we go. There we go. I got you. Yeah, appreciate you, my guy. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. Without further ado, let's get into it. This is the Walton Files 1. He's going to explain to us.
Company introductory tape is the very first episode of the Walten Files, a compilation of 3 tapes that introduce the public to Bunny Smiles Incorporated and Bond's Burgers for the very first time. But they also plunge us into the strange and eerie events surrounding both entities. Before diving into the actual video, the description already gives us some interesting context. It includes
Okay.
a message from someone
We
named
didn't even
Steve
read the
that
description.
explains,
Exactly.
This is a compilation of tapes created by the already extinct Bunny Smiles Company. I tried to get as much info as I could about what these tapes are. All I could find was that these tapes were handed to new employees back in 1974, 1979.
Hmm.
The rest of the tapes seem to be recorded by a new facility caretaker in the year 1982. Hopefully I can find more tapes soon.
things start off
Okay.
strangely, just as you'd expect. Before the first tape even begins, we see a brief shot of a rabbit wandering through a forest. Then it cuts to the actual intro video, a corporate training tape meant to welcome new support and maintenance technicians at BSI, Bunny Smiles Incorporated. We're given an overview of what to expect from our new job, our responsibilities, and how to properly handle company equipment. Soon after, we're introduced to Bond's Burgers,
Yeah.
a family friendly fast food restaurant with an entertainment area for kids, headlined by a group of animatronic performers known as the Showstoppers Bond, Shaw, Buzu, and Banny. The narrator explains our role as a facility caretaker, listing duties such as cleaning protocols, robot maintenance and repairs, and how to operate company tech. However, something odd happens. When the narrator mentions robot maintenance and repairs, his voice suddenly drops in pitch.
He
It's
did.
subtle, but definitely unsettling. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it almost feels like a hint. Like there's something very wrong with these animatronics.
Mm.
Next, we're shown the founders of the company, Jack Walton and Felix Kranken, along
Oh.
with a short message from the two of them. It's a warm and cheerful moment, one that starkly contrasts what comes next. The narrator then announces that Bond's Burgers will be opening in a few weeks and that they're excited to make their dreams come true with you. But suddenly, the tape becomes corrupted. We see a cartoon version of Bond glitching alongside distorted footage. What follows is an instructional segment on the K9 storage facility, located in Santa Juana Forest. This facility is used to store valuable items from Bond's Burgers, which, believe it or not, was permanently shut down in the very same year it opened due to certain
What?
incidents that occurred there.
So it didn't even last a full year
Wow.
before getting shut down, bro. That's
But they already said that though.
did they?
No, in the Walten files, I'm pretty sure they already said that.
Did they?
I don't know.
Did they? I don't remember them saying how long they was open for though.
Really? Get
I
comfortable.
don't remember. Yeah.
Then the screen fades to black, and a cartoon drawing of a gray rabbit appears. A character whose identity we'll learn about later. The rabbit says something, but the audio is reversed. If we
Oh,
flip it, here's what we get.
okay.
You finally start to remember. That's all that. They were the transformation. Sophie.
As
Oh.
we see throughout the series,
Oh.
these interruptions
Wait, did you not? Do you hold up? Let me see. Cause I think you could hear that clearly. But let me.
But
Hey, hold up. Let
they
me.
got the titles down there too. This
Yeah, they do. They do. Okay. Let's hear it.
Start to remember. That's all that. They were the transformation. Sophie.
as
They'll
we
be
see
back
these
soon.
interruptions weren't
soon,
part of the
Sophie.
original tape. What we're witnessing is the appearance of an unknown entity that distorts and hijacks the footage to send a message to someone named Sophie. We'll
Ooh,
meet later on.
yeah.
And this first video takes the form of an episode from a 1979 children's show called Little Bond's Neighborhood,
Okay.
produced by the same company.
Remember
The episode
that.
is titled Bond's Super Sleepover and was made by Sunlight Animation. Little Bond is planning a sleepover and movie night with his friends, Shaw, Buzu, and a new character we've never seen before, a clown named Billy. But something strange happens. As Bond checks his guest list, Billy's face suddenly vanishes and is replaced by a distorted image of Jack Walten. The background
Oh.
darkens and Bond's eyes disappear. A curious detail here is that even though Bond says he's invited all his friends, Banny is nowhere to be seen. Later
What?
tapes will reveal that Bond actually finds the animatronic rabbit's personality irritating and stressful. The cartoon shifts back to a cheerful tone, and Bond's friends arrive at his house. He gets ready to play a fun movie he bought. However, the VHS cover is anything but fun. It shows Jack Walton's face along with an upside-down title that seems to read Home Video.
Ooh.
Then we see Bond and the others watching the film, but instead of a movie, the screen shows a cryptic message.
Let me out of here.
Is that what it
Bottle of
said?
Pills next to the TV prescribed to Sophie Walton. Mentioned
What?
earlier by the Gray Rabbit, Jack Walton's eldest daughter. The tape glitches again.
Wait, that's his daughter?
Wait. Isn't Sophie the girl that was playing the video games?
Bro, she was.
Exactly.
That's her. That's how she knows everyone, bro.
Exactly.
That's how she knows. Oh my god, bro.
Characters are in their sleeping
So hold
bags.
on real quick.
Bond wakes up
So
after
what?
Felix, okay, so Felix had what? What's his name? What's the dad's name?
Jack Walton?
Jack Walton's kids. He had what is their names?
Ed and Molly.
Yeah, so those are her brothers and sisters.
Yeah. But I'm guessing she's the oldest.
Mm.
Well, obviously she's the oldest, but interesting.
That's crazy.
hearing strange noises coming from the kitchen and decides to investigate. As he glances toward the living room, the TV turns on by itself, displaying a missing person poster, Jack Walton, who vanished under mysterious circumstances on June 11th, 1974.
He's
All this
missing.
happens while distorted sounds and faint cries echo in the background. Bond finds a lighter on the floor and tries to ignite it several times, until he finally does. But in that exact moment, it vanishes, and instead, we see Sophie dressed in a Bunny Smiles maintenance uniform.
That's Sophie?
The Bond animatronic, worn out, torn, and riddled with holes, stares at her in a chilling silence.
Oh.
The footage cuts abruptly, jumping straight to the third and final tape. This one revolves around Brian Stells, a new facility caretaker sent in 1982 to the old Bunny Smiles K9 storage facility. He
Okay.
explains that he's recording everything as part of company protocol and mentions having been driving around for 20 minutes, completely lost. trying to find the place.
Bro.
Brian finally arrives. The facility has been inactive since the late 70s.
Mm.
Inside, he comes across 3 photos, one of Felix Kranken, one of a group of employees,
Mm.
and another of 2 young children,
Mm.
other kids, Ed and Molly. Soon, a terrible stench fills the room. Brian then discovers something else, the old, severely damaged Bond animatronic. He tries using a remote control to test if it still works, noticing that the left arm appears to be broken. But suddenly, everything is interrupted when Bond starts moving on its own and laughing maniacally.
I didn't even know he was laughing. That shit was creepy, man.
Me either.
That was him laughing? Oh.
Oh hell
Bro, I remember that shit too. I remember that shit.
no. I remember that shit too.
Mm. Bro. That shit is still crazy. Like legit.
What follows is a short CGI animation of a white human mask, morphing and shifting shapes. This is most likely Bond's facial recognition system attempting to identify Brian.
Oh.
Brian's lifeless body on the ground as 2 phrases appear on screen. I can't feel anything, and he thought I was her. But who is her? You might remember the earlier scene where Sophie appears wearing a maintenance uniform. What we're seeing here is likely a reinterpretation of what we just witnessed, only this time from Bond's perspective. He's confusing Brian for Sophie, which leads us to the unsettling question: why does Bond want to kill Sophie? Finally, we see Brian Stell's ID card, followed by a photo of Jack Walten, one that's sure to send chills down your spine.
Yeah.
Claire de Lune
He's
plays
smack as
softly in the
shit.
background. Considering everything we've seen so far, and the story this series draws inspiration from, many might think Jack Walton's spirit is trapped inside the Bond animatronic. But things are far more complicated than that. I've prepared an exclusive section in this video to explore this in depth. Jack Walten is one of the most mysterious characters in the Walten files.
Okay.
So, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay. Oh, this is the second one? Yeah.
The second episode in the series, titled Relocate Project, presents us with a new compilation of tapes related to the relocation efforts for Bond's Burgers. But before diving into the analysis, we're once again greeted with a message from Anthony.
This is another compilation of tapes from Bunny Smiles Incorporated. I was able to contacting people via forums and threads that have some information of the company. These tapes revolve around some relocation project that was being executed during the late 70s. A BSI ex-employee mentioned that these tapes were really private, and only a few people had a copy of them. Once the company vanished during the early 80s, all tapes regarding the project were banned and destroyed. These are super rare, and I'm really lucky to have them.
The first tape outlines the plans to relocate Bond's Burgers, 4 years after the original restaurant shut down on July 20th, 1974. The narrator explains that the relocation project was a backup plan devised by Felix Kranken, and it took 4 years of legal procedures to make it happen. Through an 8-bit animation, we see the animatronics and props being moved to a storage facility deep within the Santa Juana forest, something we already knew. In
Yep.
the animation, a worker is seen loading supplies onto a truck, and as the screen darkens, it's revealed that the driver is none other than Jack Walten. The narrator goes on to say that several products were created based on the animatronics: books, merchandise, animated films, and a children's TV show. One of these, as you may have guessed, was Little Bond's Neighborhood, which
Oh.
became a massive success. But what really stands out is a VHS tape box among the merchandise titled The Disappearance of Jack Walten. The narrator
Oh,
continues, saying that the success of these products inspired Felix to restore the animatronics and reopen a brand new Bond's Burgers in 1982. He even praises Felix, showing a cartoon version of him surrounded by happy kids. But then something unsettling happens. As the narrator says, a man with not only a giant brain, but also a giant heart. The video cuts to a dark, silent image of Jack Walten, smiling. It's clear something went very, very wrong between these two.
Yeah, I remember this.
The second tape documents the reprogramming process of the animatronics to update and prepare them for the grand reopening. The first phase involves programming facial expressions, and Banny is used as the example. The narrator explains that the results should be similar for the rest of the animatronics. First, she opens and closes her mouth, a function that already existed. Then, a new feature is added, blinking. Banny is said to use these expressions to convey emotions or to look for friends, referring to customers. But as she looks around, the background fades to black, and a haunting face overlays her own, strongly suggesting that Banny is being possessed by a human soul. The scene changes. Banny is now in a square room with 3 doors. She tries to open each one, but no matter which she chooses, she always ends up back in the same place. A voice is heard saying that she's trapped in a cage, and that she needs to get the owner's attention. The voice repeats over and over, "The bunny rabbit needs to get out. The rabbit is starving." Eventually, Banny gives up. She stands silently in the center of the room, black tears streaming from her eyes, just like we saw with Bon. Then the video shifts again to black and white footage of wild jackrabbits running through an open field, with Lacrimosa playing in the background. This moment is important, so keep it in mind. One of the future episodes in the Walten Files shares the same name. What we're seeing here is a historical event, a massive jackrabbit hunt during the Dust Bowl.
I knew it was
Dust
some
Bowl
type
is a
of
series
thing.
devastating dust storms in the 1930s that hit the Midwest United States, triggered by severe drought, poor farming practices, and strong winds. It destroyed millions of acres of farmland, turned soil into dust, and forced countless families to abandon their land. But that's not all. During the Dust Bowl, something strange happened. Massive plagues of jackrabbits. With no natural predators left and the ecosystem disrupted, their population exploded. With crops dying from the drought, jackrabbits fed on whatever was left, destroying the remaining food supply. Desperate, starving farmers began organizing mass jackrabbit hunts. Hundreds of people gathered to corral them into cages and kill them with sticks or firearms. There was nothing left, and the jackrabbits became just another threat to their survival. Back in the present, we now see the worn, damaged version of Banny as she looks today. The image darkens, leaving only her silhouette against a black background. Her face slowly moves closer to the screen until it's replaced by an image of a purple rabbit trapped inside a birdcage. Finally, we see a barely visible missing person poster. It belongs to Susan Woodings, the lead technician at Bunny Smiles.
What?
And just like that, we learn the identity of the soul trapped inside the Banny animatronic. What we've just witnessed is a representation of the suffering that Susan is enduring within the animatronic, trying again and again to escape and call for help, but always failing, trapped in a cold metal cage from which there is no way out. The third tape takes the form of a tutorial for support technicians working at the K9 storage facility. Our guide is Shaw, who reminds us that we must always wear the official Bunny Smiles uniform and carry an employee ID card. Her explanation is suddenly cut off as the screen briefly flashes Brian Stell's ID card. When things return to normal, we see Shaw helping Little Bon get ready to enter the facility, making sure he has the following items: a flashlight, a snack, a key, and a camera. However, just as Bond turns to the viewer to introduce the last item, the background darkens, and we see Jack Walten's face peeking out from inside Bond's backpack. Once inside the facility, Shaw warns us to remember the rooms we passed through, as it's easy to get lost. When leaving the break room, a shadow that appears vaguely human flashes across the screen.
Where?
The
Oh.
storage area and begins explaining the purpose of each section, but she's suddenly interrupted when she reaches the third door. And let me tell you now, nothing good lies behind that third door. In the main storage room, Shaw says something in reverse. When the audio is flipped, we hear the following story.
Let's hear it.
Rosemary would go to the restaurant every night hoping that his beloved husband would reappear after being missing for weeks, but no response until one day she heard a voice saying, "I know where she is, Rosie," coming from the backstage.
After this eerie moment, Shaw asks us to follow her into the animatronic storage room. She warns us not to touch them or shine light on them unless we're certified technicians. But then Shaw returns to the storage room crying and remembering in horror that she's been in that room before. She tries to go back to the previous room, but the strange black silhouette appears again, blocking her path. The scene becomes distorted, red hues filling the screen as Shaw sobs even harder. We see her again in the storage room, now whispering.
Sophie, where am I?
Her body begins flickering back and forth between her own and that of another woman, Rosemary. The poster of Shaw in the background is replaced with one of Rosemary, and the name Sophie is repeated over and over in reverse. Rosemary finally appears on screen as Shaw's voice continues narrating the story we heard earlier, and we are now shown the grotesque and horrifying fate of this poor woman.
By the time the lady entered the backstage, as the voice told her to, missing husband wasn't there. Instead, she found a rat.
And then she got killed by him.
Rose broken will fix you. You will beautiful. You will beautiful. You will beautiful.
Bro.
Yeah, we seen this.
Yup.
When she woke up, she looked beautiful. But on the inside,
Every single part of her body was bleeding out.
Bro, that's crazy.
Let me give you some context. Rosemary was Jack Walton's wife and the mother of Sophie, Edward, and Molly Walton. She was an extremely
Edward.
loving woman,
Oh, Ed.
intimidating when
Yeah.
necessary. She adored her children with all her heart. However, after Jack's disappearance, she completely changed. She became sad, depressed, and extremely overprotective. From that point on, Rosemary started visiting the restaurant every night, hoping Jack would come back. But one night, she heard a voice calling out, saying it knew where her husband was, and asking her to follow. She did. But when Rosemary entered the backstage, she didn't find Jack. She found the infamous Bond animatronic. And in that very room, reserved for employees only, Bond brutally ended her life. Her remains were later placed inside the Shaw animatronic, possessing it in the process.
That's crazy, bro.
And now we reach the fourth and final tape in this second installment of the series. This footage was recorded by 3 Bunny Smiles technicians
Oh,
who
yeah.
volunteered to spend 3 days and nights inside the facility to reprogram the animatronics, Hillary, Ashley, and Kevin.
What?
Once inside, they find the deteriorated versions of Shaw and Bond and begin discussing whether it's still possible to repair them for the relocation project. Hillary believes the damage is too severe, but more importantly, she suspects someone intentionally damaged them. As the group prepares to sleep, Ashley mentions they were given a small key by the company, but no explanation as to what it's for. She wants to investigate, but the others insist they should focus on fixing the animatronics. The next morning, Kevin summarizes the project and admits that it was a failure. The animatronics are far too damaged, and they simply don't have the time or resources to repair them. He asks the company for an extension. Meanwhile, Ashley secretly starts a new recording. She's determined to figure out what the key unlocks, believing it might be the only way to save the project. Eventually, she discovers that the key opens a door labeled Back Doors, which leads to multiple hidden rooms. Inside, she finds replacement parts, detached heads, and a strange gray rabbit. Yes, the same one we saw in the very first tape. But the most important moment comes when Ashley enters the final room. There, she finds the Billy animatronic. Something about it deeply unsettles her, so she decides not to approach. Instead, she notices a strange tape dated June 11th from some year in the 1970s. She inserts it into the player built into Billy. A birthday song plays
Bro.
before suddenly cutting off. And then a list of names is spoken: Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, and Sophie. Suddenly, Ashley's flashlight dies. When she finally gets it working again, Bond is standing right in front of her.
Like, bro.
That shit is disturbing, bro.
Mm.
A
Like I'm
breakfast
like I'm
which is
I'm
often
gonna pause. I'm gonna pause it, bro. Imagine like when they was first showing that motherfucker, bro, like that clown bit.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing that motherfucker, bro, right outside your door, man, and he opened your shit and it's the middle of the night, bro. What would you do, KJ?
Hopefully I'm not next to any firearms because I'm unloaded. Well, hopefully I am next to a firearm because I'm shooting them.
Bro,
What you doing, man? You gonna shit your
just
pants?
man.
I mean, I wouldn't open the door. I don't. I look through the peephole. So I'm gonna look through the peephole.
I mean I mean, do you lock your door, bro?
Hell yeah! What the fuck?
Of course, of course. I do too, man.
Oh,
But
I was gonna say you don't.
no, I do. But I'm just saying, I don't know. That motherfucker seemed like he could just break that motherfucking door off,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sure he could. I mean, he could easily get through the windows too.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case.
Bro. Like, I don't even know. I don't think bullets can even stop that motherfucker, bro. Because that thing is an animatronic. It's made of metal, bro.
What that
What the
mean?
fuck is bullets gonna do to metal, bro?
Hey, the same thing bullets do to a car.
Mm.
Yeah, you ain't think about that,
But
huh?
but that doesn't necessarily stop the car though. You shoot the metal part of a car, and like if you're just aiming at a certain part, you're gonna keep shooting that shit regardless and regardless. Unless if you hit like the hood or some shit,
Yeah,
then like you get
but
like your full clip on that,
but
and
guess
then
what?
maybe it'll stop.
Guess what though? It
What
does the bullets not pierce the car?
I mean, they do,
See,
but at the same time, if
unless they're bulletproof, buddy. If you got enough bullets, you'll be able to stop that motherfucker. Trust.
mm,
Trust.
but but that's
You're
the
gonna
thing.
hit something in that because mind you, they're worn torn already. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So they can be destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
So
True.
if you shoot them in the right places, if you shoot them enough times, they'll be stopped.
But yeah. But that's the thing. We don't know how fast these motherfuckers are, bro. You could probably like try to reach for your Glock and then they already be like at your face, bro. And by then it'd be too late, bro. Be too late by then, man. We just don't know. But that shit crazy.
explaining what happened the next morning after Ashley's death.
They left the next day. They thought Ashley left early, but she was in the back doors, screaming as
Mm,
much as she could. But no one heard the screams. The following days, the caretakers would complain about an awful smell coming from the back doors. The company decided to shut down the facility until new advice. The relocate project was unsuccessful. Ashley is still there, but she's not screaming anymore. She saw something she wasn't supposed to see. And now, she is beautiful.
Once the credits finish,
Bro.
a voice is heard whispering,
Shadow Man, she's maybe one light go off.
and then
We didn't even see that part.
a video game
Yeah,
that will
yeah,
play
we
a
did.
major role in the third part of this series.
Bro, that was at the end?
The game
That was
part?
at the end of
But behind a
No,
tree,
that was in 3,
a
bro.
mysterious figure
No, he said this is still the Walton Files 2, so he said this was at the end of the Walton Files 2 video.
No, that was in 3.
I know, but this is like, bro. Hold up, let me go back. Hold up, hold up.
And now,
Let me hear exactly what he's saying.
beautiful.
Once the credits finish, a voice is heard whispering,
So this is after the credits. So basically, this is still the Walton Files 2.
Oh, okay.
The video kept going.
Shadow Man, she's maybe one light go off.
and then we're shown an image of Bunny Farm, a video game that will play a major role in the third part of this series.
See?
Mm,
The showstoppers stand in front of a barn, but behind a tree, a mysterious figure watches from the distance.
so this was all, bro. We didn't miss this in that fucking first,
Luckily,
second one.
there's a hidden video from the Relocate project,
Oh,
which can only be accessed by piecing together the two parts of a secret link shown throughout the second episode.
what?
The tape begins innocently enough, with the classic Bond's Burgers logo.
Okay.
What follows is a visual journey through key dates, fragments of history told through images. The restaurant opened its doors on June 28, 1974, and the first birthday party held inside took place just 2 days later, on June 30th. Then, between July 10th and 19th, the final shows were performed before the restaurant permanently shut down on.
So it didn't even last that long. It lasted like a fucking month. If that, less than a month.
Yeah, literally less than a
June
month.
June 28th through July
Why do
20th.
they keep opening this up then?
Bro, who knows,
July
man?
20th. By October 31st, the restaurant is seen abandoned and boarded up.
Holy
On
crap.
December 10th, we're shown the K9 storage facility. Later, on June 23rd, 1975, the animatronics are transported to this Bonds Burgers storage location. And finally, we're shown a curious date, June 11th, 1974, a date before the grand opening.
Oh.
And yet, nothing is shown. The screen remains empty.
Hmm.
Then, the mysterious figure we briefly saw earlier, lurking behind the trees, finally speaks. From now on, we'll refer to this character as Showbear.
Oh.
You must be so confused about what you saw.
Mm.
Don't be scared, my little bunny. Answers will be given eventually, but don't try to solve this puzzle only with the pieces you have so far. This is only the beginning. For I'm going to tell you a story of broken people, beautiful people. He is so sorry about what he did to them, but there's nothing he can do. Remember that. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie. Safety and pills, Sophie.
Safety and pills.
Sophie. Safety and pills, 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 Sophie.
Just as he begins to talk, his voice is abruptly cut off by a loud, distorted version of Heartaches. At this moment, the soul trapped inside the Bond animatronic makes its presence known.
Can you see?
What?
I made them beautiful.
What the fuck? We ain't see this part. He added this,
That's
bro.
because that's this is the
that
lucky
motherfucker
you.
added this, bro. You said what?
Bro, this was what, bro, remember the fucking playlist, man? Remember those little videos in between the Walten files that you said, oh, those aren't important.
I
Apparently
said,
they
look, I'm
was
watching the
important.
Walten files. Hey, it only
Uh-huh.
they wasn't important because this motherfucker explaining it to us now. So hey,
Mm,
I was right
I
regardless.
didn't even mean
didn't even mean to.
to. They try to talk to us. Through analog, they will be heard. This is their cry for help.
To
Besides,
analog
they want us
horror.
to know what happened that year. But we must be patient.
Mm,
I wonder if this is based. Is this based on a true story?
I have no idea.
Filled with life. They dance to the music.
Mm,
They laugh and sing along. They're perfect.
mm,
They are beautiful.
ooh,
This is fucking
They will
scary.
see you soon, Sophie.
ooh.
From this, several things become clear. First, and in case it wasn't already obvious, Bond is being possessed by a sadistic, psychopathic killer who is obsessed with murdering certain people to make them beautiful, just
Yep.
like him. The line, "They will see you soon, Sophie," is not just a chilling remark, it's a direct threat.
Mm,
As we've seen before, one of Bond's primary goals seems to be ending Sophie's life, though his true motives remain unknown. Meanwhile, the lines, "through analog they will be heard," and "this is their cry for help," confirm what we previously suggested during the appearance of that gray rabbit at the beginning. The victims are trying to reach out through the tapes and similar analog formats, altering and distorting them as a way to make their stories known. We've seen this several times throughout the series already, and we'll keep seeing it again and again, because it's their only way to ask for help.
what would you think about that, man? Before we get into World Files 3, man, bro. That kind of makes sense, though.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that's
But it's
Yeah.
that's a lot to unpack, man.
Hmm.
That was crazy.
Trust me, we get just getting started because I won't Files 3. That shit was already over an hour, man. So
Yeah.
here we go, though.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
Bunny Farm is the third installment of the Walten Files. And just like the previous main episodes of the series, Anthony is back with something to say.
Hey, long time no see, huh? The following footage is about a 1980s video game created by the company. Reason it took me so long to get this footage was because the game never really released to the public, and all footage available was from the beta version of the video game. During October 1982, a few test Bunny Farm machines were distributed around Brighton, Michigan, the
Mm.
city where Bonds opened in June 28, 1974. This footage was from the arcade machine sent to Anfern Hotel. The two girls playing the game seemed to have lived there. The particular thing about these machines was that all footage from the game was recorded and then revised by BSI technicians to see if the game was ready to be published. This was one of them and quite possibly the only footage remaining of this game. The footage itself was extremely corrupted, however, and it took me weeks to be able to piece everything together with the help of a friend of mine, but I'm glad you've all been patient for this. Seems to be a huge one anyways.
Bro, wait, this was in Michigan. They said Brighton, Michigan. Remember in the I think it was the first one when they were showing that cartoon and how he's peeping through the peephole, and you said because he's in the hood, bro. We probably wasn't too far off, man.
Mm.
Shit, Brighton,
Oh no,
Michigan.
for real.
Is that even a real place in Michigan? I fucking wonder.
Is what
Hold up.
I can look it up.
Yeah, look it up. I want to see if that's a real fucking place. And
What's it called?
bro, Brighton, Michigan.
Brighton.
Brighton, yeah, bro. Ain't
Brighton.
no wonder why this shit only lasted fucking what? Not even a month. Cause the fucking parent
Wow.
is it a real place?
Yeah, it is.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh, how does it look though? Does it look like a nice place?
I mean, hey, it looks it does look like a nice place. It looked like a place where some shit like this will go down at. I'll tell you that.
Mm, okay, okay. So you think there would be like project type areas in there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bro, that probably explains why it wasn't even open for a fucking month. Cause the kids and the parents we looking at those fucking animatronics and be like, no, get your shit packed, we going.
Exactly.
Like they wasn't fucking with that shit, bro.
Just heard, this episode is based on the recording of a gameplay session from a rare beta version of the Bunny Farm video game. And it also marks the first time we meet Sophie Walton and her girlfriend Jenny Letterson, who both live at the Enfront Hotel, the location that received one of these test versions of the game. The first recording takes place on October 15th, 1982, starting with the Bunny Smiles Games logo and a warning indicating the game is still in beta. One brilliant little detail is the main menu theme. It's literally Morse code for SOS, but set to a rhythm. Once again, the souls of the victims seem to be interfering, crying out for help.
Dang, we was dancing to this shit, bro. Bro, and it was a SOS. That's crazy, bro.
Wow.
Who- That literally is the same, bro.
Jenny, already familiar
Wow.
with the game, decides to show it to Sophie. So Sophie creates a new save file and starts playing.
Her
The
dumb
opening scene
ass
of the
put
game
Soapy.
introduces us to
Stupid.
animated
Mm,
versions of Bon, Shaw, Buzu, and Banny as they prepare for the fruit festival.
mm,
However, they've forgotten to bring any fruit, putting the whole festival at risk of being cancelled.
damn.
Luckily, Pete the Hippo offers to help if the others agree to run some errands for him on his farm. And that's the premise of the game. Everyone agrees, except for Billy, who suddenly appears, screaming his own name out of nowhere and with no context. Just
Mm.
before the gameplay starts, we catch a glimpse of the same shadowy figure we've seen appear in the
Oh.
background of previous episodes. Once the gameplay begins, Jenny teaches Sophie how to control the main character, Bon. She mentions that she's played it quite a bit and has noticed the game feels very unfinished and glitchy. visual bugs, crashes, strange behavior,
Sorry,
which might
guys.
be expected in a beta version. However, Jenny points out that these glitches are particularly disturbing, and she wanted to show them to Sophie because she knows she's into that sort of thing. As they explore, they come across a memorial statue dedicated to Bobby the Hippo, described as the original owner of the farm and father of Pete and Johnny.
What?
Birth and death dates are listed as older year and other year. This is an obvious reference to Jack Walton. While Jenny is talking about how bizarre and broken the game feels, Sophie suddenly interrupts her to ask about BSI, saying the name sounds familiar. That's already strange, considering her own father is one of the company's founders. Even more unsettling, throughout the tape, Sophie doesn't seem to recognize any of the animatronics. Something's clearly off, right? But let's not get ahead of ourselves, though some of you probably already know where this is heading. Jenny explains that BSI was recently in the news after an employee named Brian Stells vanished without a trace. She also mentions another worker who supposedly died in an old company bunker. Some say she was secretly buried there, while others believe her body was never removed. These are cases we've discussed before. As they talk about all this, we briefly see Showbear and the Grey Rabbit silently watching Sophie from afar.
What?
Clearly disturbed by the topic, Sophie tries to change the subject and launches Billy's minigame instead. During the loading screen, Sophie once again comments on how familiar everything feels. Fragments of memories flash in her mind, but nothing is clear. Everything is just a blur. Eventually, Jenny tells Sophie she has to leave to finish an essay, leaving Sophie alone in the hotel's basement with the game. And that's when things start getting seriously disturbing. All the glitches and distortions in Billy's minigame seem to be connected to Ashley Parks, which makes perfect sense, since Ashley is the one possessing the clown animatronic. The glitches grow more and more unsettling, making Sophie increasingly nervous and uncomfortable. The game becomes nearly unplayable,
But she keep
and
playing.
at one point, we briefly spot two completely red figures in the top left corner.
I didn't
of the
even
screen.
see that.
I
Figures
seen it.
whose
You don't-
true
yeah, you
identity
did.
will
I
become
think you
clearer
pointed it
later
out last
on.
time.
In the middle of her panic,
Did
Sophie
you?
bumps into the Grey
Yeah,
Rabbit,
one of us did. I don't know.
and the game crashes completely. Shaken and disturbed, she decides to stop playing. For now. The next recording takes place the following day. We're made aware of this as the Grey Rabbit's face slowly appears onto the screen. Then we see the Bunny Farm title screen, while Jenny asks Sophie what happened the day before. Sophie simply says the game crashed and showed her some extremely strange visuals, almost like it was trying to tell her something. Jenny, a bit confused, jokes by asking if Sophie thinks the game is haunted, but quickly admits that something similar happened to her too. Since Sophie is playing the game at night, Jenny suggests they wait until morning to play together, but Sophie just can't get the game out of her head.
Oh my
She insists on staying and playing alone, telling Jenny she can go rest if she wants. After saying goodbye, Sophie enters the save file selection screen, but when she tries to load her game, the screen glitches, showing an error message stating that the save data has been corrupted. It warns that continuing might lead to unknown errors, or even a complete shutdown of the arcade machine. Despite the warning, Sophie refuses to start over, especially if it means replaying what she calls that clown level. So, she decides to keep going, right from where she left off. At one point, Sophie returns to the statue she had seen before, but this time, a completely new message flashes across the screen in the blink of an eye.
What?
He promised to take care of the two kids during that day. He told the parents that everything was okay. It's sad that we can't really remember you, Sophie,
Mm.
but soon we'll be together forever and ever. Rest in peace, the two lovely red children. May 15th, 1962 to May 2nd, 1974. August 22nd, 1965 to May 2nd, 1974. This message references one of the most tragic events in the entire series and the two red figures we saw earlier, but you'll have to wait a bit longer to fully understand this.
That's crazy.
After wandering around for a while, Sophie enters Banny's minigame.
Mm.
Banny, known for her hyperactive, fun-loving, but not so bright personality,
Mm.
disobeys a character named Holly, who appears
Oh.
as a mare. Just because she thinks it's funny, Banny releases 3 pigs that had been locked up.
Bro.
These pigs run off toward the hippo's house, and Sophie's mission is to find them. Several unsettling things happen during this segment, things that are easy to miss at first glance.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, there's a brief appearance of Susan Whittings's face on the right side of the
What?
box.
I didn't know
There's
that.
also a moment where the Bond animatronic can be seen hiding behind some trees, eventually replaced by a white figure wearing a straw hat, standing next
Oh,
to a missing person poster for Jack Walton. That
bro.
mysterious figure, it's the soul inside Bond. The key is the straw
What?
hat, which directly connects it to the Bond we see in the game.
Oh
If
my
that doesn't sound
gosh.
convincing yet, don't worry. It'll all become clearer very soon. The
I
game
didn't even
starts in a
see that
playroom
shit.
where we see two hippo children, Johnny the hippo, Banny, and Holly. At the back of the room are 3 doors, each one secured with a lock. One blue, one green, and one red.
Mm.
But one of the strangest details is in the lower right corner. A
See?
table
Yeah,
with a
I see
lamp
it.
and a bottle of pills. A
Mm.
clear reference to Sophie's medication shown at the beginning of the series.
Mm.
After finding the blue key, Sophie unlocks the blue door, which leads her into a dark room with multiple exits.
Which is
This
crazy.
is the same room from the Walten Files 2, where Banny was previously trapped. Sophie, confused, wanders around aimlessly until the shadowy figure reappears and makes contact with her. Suddenly, she's back in the original room, but now things have changed. The hippo kids now have no eyes, and they're completely still. Johnny is gone,
I
the
thought
pill
they
bottle is
didn't
cracked
have
open,
no
and Banny
eyes.
doesn't move at all. Sophie notices that the red key has suddenly appeared in the upper right corner of the room, next to a photo of Felix Kranken. When she
Bro.
picks it up, Banny's face shifts into a disturbingly
Bro,
straight
that's the word I saw.
Sophie walks through the red door, which leads her to a room with a moving conveyor belt, blocking her from reaching the pig on the other side. In order to proceed, she has to solve the puzzle beneath her feet. As she works on it, Sophie remarks that the glitches keep appearing in a very specific way, almost as if something, or someone, is trying to communicate with her. Once she solves it, the screen shows Bond, Banny, Shaw, Billy, and, hidden behind them, the gray rabbit. The image then cuts to a bloodied version of Banny's animatronic face, and then to the employees only door at Bond's Burgers, the very place where Sophie's mother died. Although,
Right.
she might not be the only one who met their end in that room. All of this leads to an audio log from Susan Woodings, the person who now inhabits Banny's animatronic body.
Man, just watching
Dear
this
Flight Technics for
all
audio log number 3, June 30th, 1974. Jeremy's birthday party finished an hour ago. I decided to stay and help the employees clean the place. This week has been strange, especially because of the opening. I find it weird that they opened the place even though Mr. Walten disappeared a few weeks ago. I hope he's doing alright. Rosemary came in today and asked if we'd seen him around. I'm pretty worried about it. Felix seems very concerned and worried too. Anyway, the birthday party, yes. Everything went according to plan. This was the first birthday party in the restaurant, and I feel it turned out pretty well. I noticed a few irregularities in the stage and in the audio animatronics. As the engineer and the person who basically built the animatronics to begin with, it was easier to notice these, especially in Bond. Something fell off. The limbs weren't moving properly. They looked stiff and odd, mainly in his right arm. It took a few more minutes to take him to the backstage, just to make sure everything's okay. I'm the only one left. Chris left some hours ago, and Felix didn't even show up. I'll leave and close the restaurant when I'm finished. I'm sure it's not going to take long.
What follows is a mini-game showing how Susan died inside the employees-only room. But I won't be showing that here, because we'll soon witness that very event in far greater detail and quality, so you'll have to wait a little longer.
That shit was
Well,
crazy.
we're seeing it
Sophie
right
finds
now,
herself
live
back
in
at the
action.
farm, but now it's much more empty than before. And where Banny used to be, there's now a missing poster for Susan Woodings.
Mhm.
The game's music has slowed down, warped, and distorted. Sophie quietly notes that everything happening seems to be tied to some event, but the pills she's been taking are keeping her from remembering.
But that was very confusing and scary, but it felt like I was being told a story or a certain event. I mean, clearly I was, but, yeah.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Like, I started taking them for a reason, but I really don't want to think about it.
Now it all starts to make sense, doesn't it? Her family has been caught in a chain of tragic events,
Hold on, can you push pause
things
real
that
quick,
would leave a
Dalton?
permanent scar.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just make sure my let me make sure my mic is still.
You good?
Yeah, I accidentally unplugged my mic. Hold on, let me see.
Oh dang, man.
Okay, yeah, we good. Hold on, yeah, we good.
Well, yeah, you want me to pause now?
Yeah, you good.
All right.
On anyone. Her father disappeared, her mother died, and as for her two siblings, I won't spoil that part for those who haven't seen the full series yet. The
Bro.
point is, Sophie is alone. Everyone
Yep.
she loved the most is gone.
That's
And what
crazy.
better way to make all that pain disappear than to forget it all? That's
With
why
the
Sophie prescribed
pills.
Exactly.
pills to
Mm.
forget. Now, whether she started taking them on her own or was encouraged by someone else isn't exactly clear. What is clear is that she remembers almost nothing from her childhood and teenage years. All those painful events from her past, completely erased.
You think she took them by herself, or you think
Yeah, of
someone
course.
told her?
They
Oh.
might have suggested to it because a lot of time like when you going through traumatic stuff, they prescribe you medication for that.
Yeah, yeah, most
Like not
certainly.
well, I would say like when people are going through stuff mentally, they prescribe a medication for that.
Mm. But that's the thing. Does she know? Like, we don't know if she knows. Like, I mean, I'm assuming she probably knows about maybe her father disappearing,
Mm-hmm.
maybe her mom's death,
Yeah, and her
or
brothers and
maybe
sisters
she,
dead.
I don't know if she knows about the brother and sister, though.
Oh, like you talk about due to her taking that medication.
Yeah, I think so. Cause like she's taking that medication to forget. She obviously must have known at some point, though, right?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure she's known all of that, but she started forgetting
Hey,
them
yeah,
like
what's up?
over the because she's getting older now.
Yeah,
So she
what's
realized.
up? Hey, my life's going good. Lisa, how's your not going? Shit, we here watching the full breakdown of the Walten files.
Back in the game,
My
Sophie
night's going
approaches the
good though.
mailbox, which first displays some gameplay tips over a red, glitched out background featuring the soul of Bond.
Mm.
But eventually, everything goes black,
Oh,
and a
snap.
journal page appears.
Yo, what's going
At the
down,
top, we
man?
see the name Linda Thompson,
Yeah.
but just below it,
My
the
fault.
last
I
name
did not see
Crankin
they
is crossed
chat.
out in red. Linda is Felix's wife, and this shows that she's rejecting her husband's last name.
Oh.
Several pages follow, and while most of them are heavily censored, there are still some key entries worth noting. The first is dated October 30th, 1964. Linda writes that Felix has been acting strangely lately, and
Bro.
she doesn't know what to do. He's been drinking
Hey,
excessively.
this is Felix's
Mm.
wife.
Another entry from
Yeah, that's his
October of
wife.
1965 mentions that Linda had just moved in with Felix,
Mm.
and that the day before, Jack and Rosemary had welcomed their third child, Molly. She also writes that Felix and Jack were pitching their restaurant idea to a company called Cyberfun Tech. On December 26th,
Hey, no
1970,
problem. No problem.
Linda describes how Felix and Jack built a doll called Rocket for Ed and
Ooh.
Molly. She also notes that Felix drank heavily the day before and that his alcoholism had already become a serious issue. She
Yeah.
emphasizes that Felix is a good person deep down, but that he isn't doing anything to fix the problem, and she feels
Mm-mm.
powerless. On January 3rd,
Bro.
1973, Linda describes how Felix's addiction has worsened to the point where it's harming both himself and her. She no
Crazy.
longer knows what to do. A later page, undated, is written in a tone of complete emotional collapse. Linda says she doesn't know what else to do. She simply can't go on like this. The final
Mm.
entry is dated May 2nd, 1974. Linda writes that she's leaving Felix and moving to Hurricane. She says their relationship was never healthy. At the very bottom, we see an apology from Felix,
Asking where you
written in
from?
red
I'm from
ink.
Ohio. You feel
Sophie
me?
whispers that
I
she
know
wants to
that's
go
like
back,
a
and at that moment, the
joke
game
kind
shifts
of
to a different
state, but I think
tone,
it's pretty cool.
though normal might not be the right word anymore.
I think it's pretty cool
The
state. I
game
think they over
resumes, this time
exaggerate
with
it.
even more changes than before. The most striking one on the door to the bathroom, where Holly used to stand, there's now an image showing two red figures standing next to a car. It's nothing more than a premonition of what's about to happen.
Bro,
At
that's
this point,
crazy.
the
They
Bond
always be
meeting
hiding
is
shit in these,
completely
man.
all we hear is the sound of Bond's footsteps. Sophie remains mostly silent, in shock, trying to process everything she's experiencing tonight as she walks toward Buzu's minigame.
Bro.
As with the previous games, the glitches and distortions
Oh,
are
okay. Shout
directly
out to
tied to
you,
the person who
man.
died and is now
I
possessing
got a
full
friend from
form
Virginia.
animatronic. In this case, that's Charles
He
Brooks,
from Newport.
computer supervisor at Bunny Smiles
The
and
weather
Susan's
there.
closest coworker.
It's raining.
Sophie comments that the game is
Raining pretty
probably trying to
bad.
tell her something, maybe how these people died.
Bro.
During the minigame, Buzu mentions they have to prepare for Lily's birthday party. Lily is Charles's daughter, which only strengthens the connection. The game also keeps showing the same car with the two red figures, as if desperate to make Sophie remember the accident. At one point, Sophie takes control of Buzu. Here, the game shows us Charles's death at the hands of Bond.
What?
Just like the others. But how do we know it was Bond? If you look closely during the loading screen, you can briefly see a pair of bunny ears slowly walking to the right.
What? Dog. How do they hide this shit like this, man?
714 missing, 714 missing, 714 missing,
714.
Bro, this shit was crazy.
Bro, this shit was, it was, bro. Bro, this shit is still creepy as fuck, man. Like,
Bro, I don't want to watch this shit.
and then that's him, I guess.
This is kind of starting to make more sense to me. I mean, as sense as something like this can make. These are all faces of people that I think I knew when I was younger. I knew these people, and for some reason my brain just forgot about them. Or
I wonder why.
them. I hope they're alive anymore. I mean, maybe they are, but it's...
No, they ain't alive.
I would have heard from them by now.
Yeah.
And this game really tries to make it seem like these people died. Not in very pleasant ways either. I really don't want to think about it anymore, but Jesus.
I know, man. It's crazy.
The footage shows Sophie preparing to enter Shaw's minigame.
Bro, this one was crazy, bro.
Playing hide and seek, and Sophie's goal is to find the animatronic sheep. In the overworld, there are several subtle details worth noting. The presence of Shofar.
Yep, I saw that one.
Stones marked E.
And you saw that
The
one.
graves of the two red figures. Sophie chooses to explore the garden, which displays a wide view of the area along with the distorted face of Rosemary. When she returns to the overworld, the red figures are gone, replaced by the gray rabbit, suggesting some kind of connection between the two entities. Sophie ends up selecting the chicken coop, where she finally finds Shaw. But when she clicks on her, we start seeing brief flashes of Rosemary's mangled body, depicted as the Shaw animatronic.
What?
Now it's Sophie's turn to hide, and she chooses the forest. But
Oh,
Shaw doesn't take
Lord.
long to find her, and what she's about to show Sophie isn't going to be pleasant.
No, it wasn't.
Am I still beautiful to you? Sophie.
That shit is still crazy, bro.
Exactly.
I know you.
I know where he is, Rosie. Follow me. Oh. Bro. That's crazy. Three, two,
So who is
one.
she?
Bro.
Her father?
I think so. Yep. Yep. Insane, bro. This audio and that shit is like, bro, I can't even look at that shit, dog. Like, I can't even look at that shit, man.
And they're so powered up already, ready to go after this.
I'm sorry, but you really, I'm pulling pause it. You still think that the fourth one was more crazier than this, man?
I think
than this.
we're gonna go back to it, but yeah, I thought it was pretty crazy.
Scene shifts,
Well,
placing us in front of
I
the
think
same
this
well with
is pretty
eyes that
crazy
appeared
too.
earlier on the farm map.
Mm.
The well looks around from side to side until it locks eyes directly with the player, with Sophie. Suddenly, Chaubert begins to rise from within the well, welcoming her to his magic fountain of memories and asking what she'd like to remember. But before anything else, Sophie asks him who he is. She receives no answer. Instead, Chaubert begins to show her the tragic accident that took place on May 2nd, 1974. Sophie is about to uncover a dark truth, one that has been buried deep within her mind. And as a result, many elements that have appeared throughout the game finally start to make sense. The game shows an image of a house, with the two red figures standing at the front door. Sophie is stunned and terrified. This is her old house, the one she lived in with her family, before everything fell into darkness. Next, we see a corn maze with Chaubert lurking in the shadows at the far end, followed by the gray rabbit. The rabbit says he's happy to see Bon and thanks him for helping clean up the maze. He tries to tell Bon what to do next, but he's interrupted by the sound of a ringing phone.
Oh,
We're then shown a conversation between Felix and Jack. Jack asks him for a favor, to take his kids, Ed and Molly, to a school party that evening. Jack is swamped with paperwork, and Rosemary is at the dentist with Sophie, so he can't go himself. Though hesitant at first, Felix eventually agrees. Jack thanks him warmly and asks him to pick them up at 5 p.m. and bring them home by 9 p.m. As the call ends, Sophie quietly remarks that somehow she remembers that conversation.
yep. She was probably in the same room when he was having that
This
conversation.
time to a minigame set in the corn maze, where Sophie once again controls Bon. During this sequence, Chaubert's deep voice warns her to be careful. This memory is deeply buried, and she must find them. As Sophie explores, she speaks to herself aloud. She's overwhelmed. She says she knows what's happening now, that she's beginning to recognize all the faces she's seen, and this is where everything begins to unravel.
Crazy,
Ed and
man.
Molly Walten, 11 and 8 years old respectively, are shown in their bedroom, getting ready for Uncle Felix to pick them up. Suddenly, Felix appears behind them, asking if they're ready. Molly doesn't want to leave without her favorite doll, the gray rabbit, which now, finally, we can name Rocket. After that, the three get into the car and head to the party. The day goes by without anything unusual happening, but it's already past 9 p.m. and time to go home. Ed and Molly go looking for Felix and find him at a bar, drinking. The kids call him out. He shouldn't be drinking if he's going to drive them home, but Felix brushes it off, saying he's fine, just a little
Crazy.
dizzy, and gets up, ready to drive. A terrible mistake.
Yep.
Felix makes a fatal decision, one that will haunt him for the rest of his life, because in the crash that follows, he's the only one who survives.
Bro, insane.
Uncle Felix, what are you drinking? Our teacher says drinking is not good.
No, I'm just feeling dizzy.
You're stuttering.
Molly, we're almost there.
Don't you think you're driving too fast?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get you to home quickly, all right? Look, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling too good right now. I really I just want to lay in the bed and go to sleep.
It's alright. We get that today wasn't the best for you. We understand. Everything is gonna be okay.
Bro.
Thanks, Molly.
Bro. I don't know. I think. Bro.
Panicked and lost, he buries Ed and Molly's bodies in Santa Juana Forest, but they found a way to come back by
Yep.
possessing Rocket. Then the screen goes black as the phone rings again. Jack is desperately calling Felix, but he doesn't answer. The machine starts playing back 25 voicemails, one after another. Finally, the video cuts to a scene showing the player character, Bon, but this time without a face, interacting with the members of the Showstoppers. But then something breaks the illusion. Bon's animatronic version appears.
Oh.
Wait, weren't we playing as Bon?
Mm.
This doesn't make any sense. Or maybe it makes perfect sense. Here's my interpretation. What we're seeing is a lost soul looking for a vessel to possess. It observes all the animatronics, but none of them seem right, until it finds Bon and takes him. The fact that this version of Bon has no face makes it even clearer. At this point, he didn't have an identity yet, at least not one we could recognize. Still, that's just my take. What do you think? Let me.
What do you think, my guy?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Sheesh.
Mm. A lot to pack in, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any clues of what that faceless bond could be, man? Because, like you said, there was two bonds. How could there be two bonds, man?
Unless
So.
one of them is nah, cause Felix is still alive, right? I know one of them has to be
Mhm.
one of them has to be Jack, right? Jack.
Uh. No, Jack and Felix are still alive.
Oh, at this point, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rocket. Well, Rocket is clearly either Molly or Molly and Ed together.
Now let's put Molly and Ed
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Bond is just he just started off that way. He just
Hmm.
he he was possessed by an entity, but not by. Because you got to think about this. He starts like stuffing people into it, to them things. So
Yeah.
it might be
Yeah.
yeah, he might have been like an entity that was able to do that, and he started stuffing people into electronic things.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Know your theories down in the comments.
Hmm.
And with that, we've reached the end of the Walten Files 3.
Okay. Wonder what's up
Guilty
next.
is a hidden video whose link can be found by piecing together the two parts shown throughout the Walten Files 3. The video opens with the Bunny Smiles Incorporated logo, followed by 3 archived audio recordings, each one from the same person, Felix Kranken. The first recording, dated April 15th, 1967, features Felix formally introducing himself, alongside Jack Walten, as a co-founder of the company. He
Okay.
explains that Bunny Smiles was built on a single belief, that with hope, anything is possible. He believes in his company. He believes in his dream.
Do you?
The second recording, from December 10th, 1972, shows Felix delivering a holiday message to his employees, wishing them a Merry Christmas and expressing pride in the company's achievements. But the most important audio tape comes next. Although partially censored, it's titled Guilty and is dated May 2nd, 1974, the same day as the accident. Here, we hear a deeply remorseful Felix. Sadly, the past can't be undone.
Let's hear it, my guy.
So what?
Alright, it's. Yeah. Messed up. It's been so long since I last used one of these. Last time I used this, I was driving. In the same conditions. I messed up. I have a problem, and uh, and this has been a problem for so long that I can't even remember the first time I got drunk. I don't remember most stuff. that, that's probably why I carry this recorder with me. So, that's probably why I'm recording this in the first place. Because I know I'll wake up tomorrow and I'll think this was all just a nightmare.
Nope, it's not.
That Molly are okay.
Nope.
They dead, bro.
But
Keep wishing. Hey, you still
they're
drinking?
not.
Mm-hmm.
They were just chilling. Jack. Oh God, what am I gonna tell Jack? He would be devastated. That's why I buried him. Just the idea of Jack seeing what happened to him. Jack's been the best friend I've ever had. I'd never do that to him. That's when the accident occurred. I panicked and I buried him in the forest. St. Juana's forest, the forest next to the road in which the accident occurred. I I can't remember where I buried him.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So fuck.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do now?
Give yourself up, man.
Next month.
Next, we have a mini episode titled Spectacle. In it,
Ooh.
a reporter named Christine Marshall stands in front of a now shuttered Bond's Burgers, reporting on the location's dark history and the string of disappearances linked to the restaurant and the BSI company. Christine works for Local 57, a news channel whose name is clearly inspired by the analog horror series Local 58. During her report, Christine interviews a mother who knew one of the employees who used to work there. The woman explains that her coworker had gone to Bond's Burgers to celebrate a birthday, and at the time didn't believe any of the paranormal rumors that were already starting to spread about the place. As she speaks, we see various shots of the restaurant, intercut with fragments from the old Bond's Burgers commercial. Later on, Christine interviews Derek Collins, chief detective of the Brighton Police Department. He begins recounting the 6 disappearances that occurred during the summer of 1974: Jack, Rosemary, Edward, and Molly Walton, Charles Brooke, and Susan Woodings. He then mentions that Jack Walton's disappearance was the breaking point, the moment he realized something was seriously wrong. However, he also voices his frustration with Local 57 for what he sees as turning the case into a media circus, connecting the disappearances to alleged paranormal activity, which, in his view, only spreads misinformation and preys on public curiosity. But the facts remain disturbing. Christine continues her report, citing various incidents tied to the restaurant: loud music playing late at night, car alarms going off, lights turning on inside, and the eventual closure of the establishment. After it was shut down, the building was declared condemned, and no one has attempted to purchase it due to the urban legends surrounding it. Even so, there have been reports of break ins and acts of vandalism on the property. Witnesses claim they heard the chilling screams of an adult woman the night before the restaurant's final shutdown. Yet when police arrived and forced their way inside, the place was empty. People believe those screams came from Rosemary Walton, and they're not wrong. The video ends frozen on a still frame as Rosemary's muffled cries for help echo in the background. She's still there.
Bro. See, man, that's why we should have watched these, man.
Okay, well
But you
then,
didn't want
well
to.
then pause this and then we can watch them. Cause it doesn't make any sense for us to just keep watching this if you talk about watching them. But I'm gonna be honest with you, my boy. I am
Mm,
tired, man. We gonna have to pick this back up or something, bro. I'm
We're gonna have to
suffering,
pick it back up,
bro. I'm suffering,
man.
bro. If you can only see
Uh,
me, bro. Wait, how
we only
much is?
got we only got 35 minutes left, man.
Motherfucker, do you realize that's a half an hour, bro? We gonna have to
Yeah, man. That.
we gonna have to pick this back up. I'm sorry, my boy. I could barely keep my eyes
Uh,
open.
all right, man. Well, so far, what'd you think of it, man?
I thought it was extremely disturbing, bro. I'll keep checking my surroundings, bro, cause I'm creeped out, bro.
Mm. When we come back, since we only got 30 minutes, do you want to watch those extra ones first, and then?
Yeah, we might as well.
Yeah, okay. Next time then. Next
Yeah.
time then, definitely. Okay.
Well, all right,
All right,
ladies and
mate.
gents. If I don't get no sleep soon, I'm gonna pass out right here, right now. Love you guys, man. Appreciate all the support, man. We'll be back soon. Sorry I can't hang with y'all, man. I am tired, but I'll catch you on the next one. Shout out to my boy DJ Boss 5611. My boy Tone,
Yes, sir.
man. You know, check out his work on YouTube too. He posts on YouTube, man. Go ahead and shout yourself out, my boy.
Yes, sir. You feel me? It may only be in like my live stream shit because the live streams that I be doing on Twitch are I'm also doing on YouTube at the same time.
Oh, okay.
So the videos be uploaded on my live section, not my video section. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah,
Well, hey, there you have it first from my boy himself. And make sure y'all. Hold on, I heard something. Make sure y'all stay hydrated. Make sure y'all,
bro.
keep some food in
You
that belly. If and yeah, getting that Bible and shout out to Christ, man. Love you guys.
mm,
Peace.